Oh, well, good morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Um, yeah, do this for the first time, and you know, it's a little weird. I can say that. Um, used to just do radio back when I was in college, and decided, you know, I kept coming up with reasons not to do this. Oh, I'm too busy. Uh, oh no, I don't have the time, I don't have the setup, I don't have the needs, I don't have what I need to be able to do this. I realize in reality all I really need is to just talk. uh, there's people like Zach Schomler does Strong Opinion Sports. There's Road Rants does Black and White Sports. John Matrix. Then of course you got like guys like Clay Travis. Uh, you know they have platforms. Zach, like I said, Zach was a. I started watching him a while back, and he's just a guy just talking sports and giving his opinions on things. And I was like, I could do that. I used to do that. I used to do that when I was in college. Like, I also had a co-host, so that kind of helped. But we were able to play off each other a little more. And I'm hoping that I'm able to engage with some people here, try to create just sort of like a back and forth with some guys, and get some people here in the future and have some conversations with people. But so for now, not even really sure where to start, but I got a couple of talking points. But the NFL draft starts Thursday, and kept telling myself, oh, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do at least one show before the draft, and I kept putting it off, kept not. Oh no, I don't have time today. I'm gonna go do this. I gotta do that. Uh, and it's one of those things where it's like you just can't get over that. Oh, nobody's gonna watch. Nobody's gonna pay. I've reached the point of who cares if nobody watches. I really, it's something that I want to do, and that should be all that matters. It should just that should be all that I want to do. Is just I want to do it, so I should do it. There shouldn't be any like, oh, I don't have any viewers, so I shouldn't do it. Nobody's interested in it. But anyway, with that being said, let's uh let's talk about the draft. So it's pretty much a foregone conclusion now that Trevor Lawrence is going number one, right? I mean, that's that's the talking point. Everybody believes that the the Jaguars are taking Trevor Lawrence number one. It's been reported that I think Pat McAfee talked about. I think he already has the Jaguars playbook. Hey BG, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I like this Mariners shirt too. I got another one just like it. Well, not just like this one, but I've got two. But back to back to the Trevor Lawrence thing. It's highly unlikely that the Jaguars are going to take someone else, right? Right. Who could the Jaguars take instead of Trevor Lawrence, and it not be people going, "Oh my gosh, they'd mess this up." It's kind of like in my opinion, they're really in a debate like there was with Andrew Luck and RG3, right? That debate's not there. I, I thought about that. And everybody brings up, oh, but Urban Meyer was the coach at Ohio State, so he would, he'd be interested in Justin Fields. But the only problem I see with that is he didn't coach Justin Fields. Yeah, he was there, but he didn't coach him, at least as far as we know. And if he did, that'd bring up some NCAA violations, wouldn't it? I just don't see how they could take anybody other than Trevor Lawrence at this point. I mean, they've said already that, oh, he's the number one pick. He's going. That's who they're gonna take. Now, I would laugh really hard if Urban Meyer said, you know what, let's take Kwity Paye, the defensive end from Michigan, or Patrick Surtain, corner out of I think it's Alabama. I don't see that happening, but it would be pretty funny. That would be interesting too. I mean, Zach Wilson. A lot of people have said that he's surprised them. um, one that I always thought about is, could Urban Meyer take Trey Lance and maybe view him kind of as like a Braxton Miller type that maybe make some better decisions. Um, Zach Wilson, I haven't seen much of him, but I have heard a lot of good things about him. So I don't know. I think it's gonna go like this. I think Jags take Trevor Lawrence number one, and I had it in my notes here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it'll be Trevor Lawrence number one. I think the Jets. If Zach Wilson goes number one, the Jets are not going to be upset and taking Trevor Lawrence at number two. I mean, everybody was talking about how they were upset that they lost their opportunity for him. So I don't think they're going to be upset at all if if the Jags decide to not take Trevor Lawrence. And then with the 49ers, I mean, this is the biggest surprise, and me being a 49ers fan, it was probably the biggest surprise to me to see them trade up to number three, and then hearing all these things about, oh no, Jimmy's still our guy, Jimmy's still our guy. I, I'm not saying that they don't think Jimmy's still their guy. I'm just saying that I don't see why you trade up to number three and then keep him around. So, like I said, Trevor Lawrence number one. Let's say Zach Wilson goes number two. I just don't. I mean, all the reports say that the Jets are sold on Zach Wilson. So I see that as being their pick there, especially after shipping Sam Darnold out to Carolina. But so the 49ers, there's a lot of reports saying Mac Jones. I mean, Vegas now has the betting lines as, Mac Jones being the favorite to go third overall. And, I'm a Florida Gator fan, so I'm the furthest away from being a Bama fan. And I work with one of the most outrageous Alabama fans that I know. He's a good guy, and there's nothing against the guy. He is a definition of what you call a Bammer. Okay, like I said, the biggest surprise move for this draft for me is the 49ers trading up to three. So I really don't think that they are going to take anything other than a quarterback, because it's very rare, unless you got like a Deion Sanders type prospect up there, and I don't see it. Uh, so that could they go defense? Yes. I doubt they traded to number three to take a defensive player. I doubt they traded up to number three to take a skill position player. Uh, I really feel like they've got to have been trading up to try to snag one of the quarterbacks that that they feel is going to be left. Now, if I I know this isn't going to happen because, like I said, I'm 100% behind Trevor Lawrence being number one overall pick. But let's say the Jags do take Justin Fields, and the Jets are so surprised by that they're like, well, we still got to take Zach Wilson because that's the guy that we planned on. So we'll take Zach Wilson, and the 49ers end up with a chance at Trevor Lawrence. Oh man, I'm like. Being a Niners fan, I will go and I will actually save the money to buy a Trevor Lawrence jersey. But I know that's not going to happen. But that would be freaking hilarious. That would be uh, the Jags would then be the new Browns of the NFL. I think if they do not take Trevor Lawrence, they will be the new Browns of the NFL. I think they take Trevor Lawrence. I think they get themselves their franchise quarterback, do exactly what the Bengals did. I hope what I would like to see is they take Trevor Lawrence and either unless he just blows them away in camps, I would still start Minshew at least for the first game or two and see how your offensive line is, because the last thing you want is to put him behind an offensive line that's not 100% great and have him get hurt in those first couple games. But I also don't think you take a guy number one overall and have him sit either. So I don't know, that one kind of meh, go either way on. But so Lawrence number one, Zach Wilson number two. 49ers, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. I would not be upset if they take Trey Lance. I think he is a proven winner, even if it is at the FCS level. I don't see it being a Carson Wentz type situation. I feel like he's more athletic than Wentz was. And I also don't think the Eagles really did Carson Wentz any favors, but that's a discussion for another time. But I mean, another player that I could see the 49ers taking would be Kyle Pitts. Could you think about this? You got Jimmy G at quarterback. You got the stable of running backs that they have. Then you got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and then you add Kyle Pitts into that? That would be, I mean, offensively, that would be a nightmare to deal with, I think. Because Ayuk's coming around. Ayuk was coming around towards the end of last season. And, I mean, big body wide receiver. You add Kyle Pitts to that offense, and, I mean, Kyle Pitts is a much better version of Jordan Reed, in my opinion. Maybe even, I mean, they've graded him as the best tight end in NFL draft history, I think. But I mean, he grades out more of like a receiver than a tight end, is what a lot of people have said. But okay, so moving on from the 49ers now, we got the Falcons. Answer me this: do you think the Falcons need to replace Matt Ryan with that fourth overall pick? I think he has a little bit more time, a little bit more in him, and I think as a franchise, you could wait another season or maybe two before planning your next quarterback. You take a playmaker at 4, and then you draft a quarterback late. Maybe you draft him in like the third, fourth round and see if he can develop. Or you have a situation like with Dallas where they ended up taking Dak Prescott in I want to say the third round, if I recall correctly. You take him and then you develop him into a better quarterback. I think that could work. So I think they take if they do take a replacement for Matt Ryan, and let's say Lawrence, Wilson, and Fields are gone. Let's say the 49ers take Fields. So you as a Falcons team, you have your options between Trey Lance and Mac Jones. I think at that point you go and take like a Jamar Chase, a Kyle Pitts, you get Patrick Surtain to help out that secondary that was last in the league in passing yards. Hey, Sleuts, what's up, man? Been a while, buddy. I'm surprised. I mean, like, I know you texted me the other day, but I'm good to know. Good to know you're still alive. I think it's been like what, 5 months now? I think November was the last time I talked to you. But anyway, so I really do feel like the Falcons need secondary help because giving up 4,697 yards is pretty rough. So I think they could take a quarterback fourth overall, but if the first three picks are quarterbacks, I think you either take a corner or you trade down. I think that would be a good thing. I think the Falcons could trade down. I don't know if there's another team that maybe there's a team that's completely sold on Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts, and you trade down and acquire a couple more. So that with that, the last draft pick I want to talk about. I just wanted to cover the top five for this. The Bengals. There's a lot of people that say, well, we need to get a big play receiver to replace AJ Green. So we need to get Jamar Chase if he's there. I think you got to protect your investment. Joe Burrow's scar says, "Yeah, let's draft an offensive lineman to protect me." I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the new uniforms for the Bengals. There was a nice little picture of Burrow's knee after his surgery. But those are the top five draft picks that I wanted to talk about. There. Now, talking about trading, the Ravens and Chiefs. This made headlines, but the Ravens acquired 3 picks from the Chiefs for Orlando Brown Jr. They got the number 31 overall pick, the number 94 overall pick, and the number 136, as well as a 5th-round selection in 2022. I don't know what Orlando Brown Jr.'s contract is like, but as the Chiefs, you just let go of your 2 offensive linemen. So yes, I understand you want to replace them, and you want to replace them with somebody who's proven. But I'm just trying to figure out now. Is it because those guys were hurt for the Super Bowl that you're saying, okay, we need to move on from these guys, we need to get somebody else? Or did you feel like they were taking too much money? And like I said, I don't know Orlando Brown Jr.'s contract. I probably should have looked it up before I started this, but I kind of forgot I was going to talk about that one. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good trade. I mean, it's not bad for the Chiefs, but I think you could have gotten a good O lineman with that 31st pick and still kept your other ones too. Now, as the Ravens, I think that was probably the best trade they possibly could have made. They know that they can run the ball. So I think they're at that point now where they're trying to figure out, okay, we gotta find some more players to help Lamar Jackson out. We gotta get a true number 1 wide receiver. Because Marquise Brown, yeah, he may be able to run past everybody, but that's about. I mean, I haven't seen the route running ability that you would like to see from your receivers, at least out of him. The Browns exercised the 5th-year options on both Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward. Okay, he's on a 2nd-round rookie deal. Okay, that's not bad. Well, why are they telling you you're gonna fly away? It's because of how late you are. Being barely 100 pounds soaking wet, honey. Great Ninja Tully is my wife, for anybody that doesn't know. So Baker Mayfield gets his contract extended through 2022. The Browns exercised their 5th-year option on him. Now, what that tells me is that the Browns are kind of telling Mayfield, "Hey, we we think you're good, but we want to see more. We're not 100% sold on you yet. If you prove it to us this year, then maybe we'll give you a bigger deal." I think that that's kind of what they were going with. Is I feel like they were saying, "Okay, look, we believe in you. We really do. Um, but we'd rather make sure that we have you for sure under contract for 2022, and we'll let you kind of prove it to us this year." I think if Mayfield has another season like he did this past year, then the Browns go ahead and give him an extension. If he kind of falls back to being the guy that he was, where he, wasn't exactly the most accurate of passers, um, if he turns, let's say he turns back into Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield, then yeah, I think they have him under contract for 2022 and they start looking elsewhere for quarterback. I think this is kind of like we're going to shore things up for ourselves versus giving you the opportunity to, you know, versus us going ahead and giving you all the money that we feel like you might deserve. And Denzel Ward, I'm not really sure. I didn't watch a whole lot of Browns football. Kind of wish I would have because I like Baker as a player. Just his competitiveness, his desire to win. I didn't like him while he was at Oklahoma, but that's also part of me not being an Oklahoma fan. But anybody who walks on to Texas Tech can get himself a scholarship. If I remember right, I think he got a scholarship, and then he left. I think it's because he saw Mahomes and knew what was going to happen with that. I don't know though. And then goes to Oklahoma, walks on there, and then becomes a scholarship athlete and wins the Heisman. Like that's you can do that. You're pretty good. I feel like, and I think the whole he keeps the chip on his shoulder because that's the only way he knows how to play. When he actually, I think when he didn't have that chip on his shoulder, when he started to like feel like, okay, I am the guy, I am what everybody says I am. Uh, I think that's kind of where he fell off was partially because of that, because people were telling him he was as good as he wanted to be or as good as he thought he was. Once people started telling him that, it's like I don't know, it's like the edginess that he had fell off. Yeah, I know. His progressive commercials are pretty funny. All right. So, talking about going back to the draft now, talking about trades. The Panthers have said they are very open to trading out of number 8. Now, I'm not exactly sure who they could trade with or what they could get out of it. I think they're hoping that say one of the defensive backs is still there, which I'm pretty sure they have a young secondary anyway, so I don't really know if they really need another defensive back. I think they're what they really need. If they stay at number 8, they have to take Micah Parsons. They need somebody to fill the void that Luke Kuechly left because Shaq Thompson, as good as he is not anywhere near the level that Luke was. And I hate to say that because I never wanted to just say I've never wanted to say that a player isn't good, but I mean I'm not saying he isn't because he's in the NFL for a reason, right? I mean that's the thing. Anybody that's in a professional sport, they're there for a reason. Um, but I do kind of feel like they need somebody to fill that void that Micah Parsons or that Luke Kuechly left, and I feel like Micah Parsons could do that. Not really sure where else they could go with that pick. Maybe receiver, but again, I mean, I don't really know if there's another receiver that they could possibly want. Uh, Somebody one of those QBs after 6. Yeah, that's a very good possibility. Um, so where are we at with quarterbacks? You got Trevor Lawrence going number 1, Zach Wilson 2, Fields, Lance or Jones. So then that leaves Fields, Lance or Jones at 4 for the Falcons, and if the Falcons take a quarterback, then I don't really know if anybody would want to trade up for whoever's left. I think they would just rather wait and see if it shows up, see if they fall to them. Oh, I could be wrong on that though too. No, I have not read the interview in Sports Illustrated yet with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, the Bengals could. Yes. If all four, so let's say 4 quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The Bengals, like you just pointed out, the Bengals. If I am Cincinnati and those quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, I start picking up the phone, calling, hey, you guys need a quarterback? Hey, Pittsburgh. Hey, no, I don't think Pittsburgh. I don't think the Bengals would ever do a deal with Pittsburgh. I didn't really think about that when I said it. But who do you think feels like they need a quarterback that has a lot of picks to give though too? Because it ain't the Patriots. Patriots aren't going to be able to do it this time. And I don't see any team really wanting to trade with the Patriots anyway. Uh, Another one that I was thinking is maybe trying to think of where the picks are. Could the Eagles are at 12. Do you think the Eagles would consider trading up to 5? I don't know if they would. Anyone offering a player plus picks? Yeah, but what player? Like what? The only thing I could think that the Bengals would do would have been like, ooh, oh, I see what you're saying. Are you trying to say that you want your Packers to trade up to number 5? I think that's what you're saying right now. I think that's what you're saying. You want the Packers? No. You sure? What pick did the Packers have anyway? Is it 29? Oh, dude, who was I thinking of that's on the Packers with the last name Jackson? Who was I thinking of? I don't know why I was thinking J.C. Jackson was on the Packers for some reason. All right, so Patriots trade J.C. Jackson and some picks to the Bengals for 5 if those. Oh, Josh Jackson. Okay, I was saying I knew there was a Jackson on the Packers. Um, well, okay, so the Patriots take J.C. Jackson and some picks and trade it to the Bengals for 5 if the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that leaves I think one more really quarterback left. And so the Patriots trade up to 5 and take whoever's left between. I don't know. I think if for whatever reason, if Mac Jones is the one left, if it goes Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, um, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, we'll say. Yeah, I was gonna say if it's Trey Lance, I can see them trade. But if it's Mac Jones, I don't think the Patriots do it. I don't know if you saw the video of Jones's pro day, but there was an iconic GIF that we constantly showed our Alabama friend at my work. We constantly played the Bill Belichick shaking his head GIF after Mac Jones overthrew a ball. And I don't think I think that was kind of taken out of context, but it's still funny. It's just like you see Mac Jones overthrow a receiver, and then you see McDaniels and Belichick talking, and Bill's just shaking his head now. I don't know if it's something Josh McDaniels said to him, or if he's saying like, "Oh no," saying no to something else. But it was still funny. Uh, Thank you. uh, so another thought on that is so Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, Justin Fields 3, Trey Lance 3. I would hope that Trey Lance, if the 49ers take a quarterback, that's who they take. I hope that's who they take. I really do. Me, like, I just hope that's who they take. Um, they take Mac Jones. I mean, that's just a younger version of Jimmy G. Really, it's about all I. That's all about all I've seen from Mac Jones so far. That's what that would be to me. It's just a younger version of a guy that you already have. Uh, but okay, so we'll say if it's Trey Lance, the Patriots trade up to 5. They give up J.C. Jackson and some picks. But then the Bengals lose, in my opinion, that opportunity to take a top tier offensive lineman to protect Burrow. So I don't know if the Bengals would do it. I do know there's been reports that the Lions also want to move out of 7. I don't know. You throw for 3,000 with those weapons and talent. Which team are we talking about now? Are you talking the 49ers? I'm assuming we're talking 49ers because that's where I said like Mac Jones, Jimmy G. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's who you meant. Uh, okay. At Bama, I got you. See, and that was something that I was talking about too. So, uh, everything, like I said, this he is a Bama fan through and through, but he was constantly bragging about Mac Jones, constantly. Oh, he's probably the greatest quarterback Alabama's ever had, and my boss being an Auburn fan and I both kind of looked at him and said, "Okay, who was the last top tier NFL talent at quarterback that Bama's had?" And his answer was Tua. And our response was, "I haven't seen enough from Tua yet to debate to make that case." As of right now, with the fact that they had to keep putting Fitzdaddy, Fitzmagic, the Magic Man, Ryan Fitzpatrick back into the game to have chances to win. I don't know whether that was just Brian Flores pushing the buttons of his team, or if that was him saying, like, I have faith in Tua, but I have more faith in the veteran Fitzmagic to get this win for us. I don't, like I said, I don't know, but I'm going with Bama has always had top tier offensive line, top tier running back, top tier receivers now. Like, and I say top tier receivers now. Exactly. Yes, that is a very good point. Tua folds under pocket pressure. I think he can learn to deal with that. But again, like you just said, you could throw for 3,000 yards with the weapons and talent that Bama had. Just like when we look at guys like Trent Richardson. The reason why he doesn't have that good of vision running the ball, or why he didn't have that good of vision in the NFL, was because he was used to having wide open spaces to run through at Bama. I'm not saying that the guy never had vision. I'm saying that spending that having those years at Bama behind that behemoth of an offensive line every year, I think it sort of regressed his ability to read and run through the hole. I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't good because he clearly was. There's a reason why he got recruited to Bama in the first place. But I just feel like because once he got into the NFL, he I think he had one good season with the Browns, and then once they put in that rule that he couldn't leave with the crown of the helmet, I think he started thinking about that a little too much too, and it definitely made him regress. And then you look at Eddie Lacy, same kind of thing. He was good, he was great at Bama, but again, I think it had more to do with that offensive line. Oh, but yeah, so Bama, top talent, top tier talent all the time in college, and it can make for some bad NFL careers for them. Now, when you're talking defensive players from Bama, I mean, there's really almost no contest because those guys still. Lacy got fatter and more out of shape. I was gonna leave that out of it. I've got no room to talk, so I wasn't gonna bring that one up. Um, but looking at it like that, it's you go to Bama, you may have a great college career, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have a great NFL career. But when we're talking defensive players from Bama, it's one of those things where they have to be good anyway, if that makes sense. Like defense I'm still saying it is still a team effort. That much is obvious. Like I mean that football's a team game, period. But I will say that when you take into consideration what you have to do on defense versus offense, like offense really helps you make plays. Like offensive line makes the hole for the running back to run through. If there's a big one, he's guaranteed at least 3 to 4 yards. Makes one guy miss, and he could be gone for a touchdown, right? Receivers. Offensive line gives the quarterback enough time to pick his spot to throw to or get a guy open, things like that. And then you look at, like I said, going to the defensive side though, you have to, you kind of have to make the play on your own. Like, yeah, your defensive line can help you to get pressure on the quarterback, and the quarterback has to make a hurried throw. That can lead to some easy interceptions and things like that, right? But you still have to read and react. As far as defense goes, if you're good at reading and reacting, you will be a pretty good NFL defensive player. Um, and if you can tackle well, if you can track a ball carrier, like you don't even have to be the fastest guy. If you can know how to make pursuit angles and things like that, how to take them, how to force people into certain directions, you don't have to be the fastest guy on the field. Um, you look at a guy like Eric Weddle, he had good closing speed. You look at a guy like trying to think of another one, but oh, who's the Packers free safety right now? Or not the Packers. Vikings, Harrison Smith. Is he free safety or strong safety? I think he's a strong safety. Now I think about it. You would know. You're a Notre Dame guy. That's where he went, so you would know. But um, no, and it's not always going to translate that way though, because you look at some guys like Tom Zibikowski, great in college, great defender in college, couldn't really make that transition to the NFL game. I think Zibikowski would have been great in today's NFL as like a linebacker. In that like in those nickel packages, I think Zibikowski would have been great. I would have loved to have seen him play in today's NFL. But like I said, defense is more kind of, I'm not gonna say more individually based, but it kind of is. Where if you are a top tier defensive talent, you can be a great NFL player no matter where you go. But when you as a running back, when you like I said, when you get used to just having all of this space to run through, then you get to the NFL where the defensive line is just as strong and fast as the offensive line. And yeah, you're gonna get a couple of good big plays, couple good runs here and there, because sometimes defenders take plays off, but it's gonna inflate your numbers and make it look good. But still, you're gonna end up kind of like I said with looking at Trent Richardson. Yeah, there's a reason why Mike Hart never became a good running back, and I'm Michigan running back, and part of that is he didn't really he wasn't a breakaway runner. He was a good pick his spot and pick up a couple of yards type running back, and then he could break out in the open field. But you talk about speed kills. There's a reason why guys like Jeff Demps and Chris Rainey didn't make it in the NFL. Noel Devine, even guys with track star type speed that then when they ended up going against defensive players with track type speed along with their ability to read and react, it was pretty much game over for him. One good clean hit on a guy and he's going to be thinking about not wanting to get hit again. Oh, I was trying to think. There was something else. There was another one that I wanted to talk about. Oh well, some good news. Uh, Tiger Woods is out of the hospital for sure now. I've seen a picture. He's out of the hospital after his car crash. Got a cast on or a brace on his leg, but he's doing fine. Oh, here we go. This is what it was. College football has changed their overtime rules to 2 point conversions having to be started in the second overtime. And then I believe it's the third overtime that they just start alternating 2 point plays. I think that it's good. At the same time, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's a good idea, but I also feel like it could be a bad one too. Um, I think it'll make for no more LSU Texas A&M type overtime games. I think that's who it was, wasn't it? They went into like 9 overtimes or something like that. But kind of good to know that that's not going to happen anymore. But you never know; it still could. At least there probably won't be any final scores like 100 and something to 90 something, 101 to 99. But the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is the NFL number change rule. I personally love it. I think it's great. think it's I think it's necessary. Um, for their because of the expanded practice squads and everything else, and with as many with teams that have numbers retired and things like that, you want to be able to preserve those legacies. You don't want to unretire a number out of necessity. I do think that retiring numbers should be reserved for literally the best of the best, but we're also saying the best of the best for that team. We're not talking some guys may not be quote unquote Hall of Fame material, um, but they're still they still meant something to that team. So I personally think it's a good rule. Tom Brady, I don't know. I've heard about Tom Brady saying that he thinks it's going to make for bad football because of people not knowing who to block. Um, Not exactly sure where he is coming from with that. Um, I don't know if he's saying like I don't know if he's trolling, which is what I hope it is. But I I personally think that it's not going to really change anything. If you break down film and watch guys and see where guys line up and things like that, I don't really think it's going to impact your offensive line too much. It's not like a guy's coming out wearing number 1 and then 5 minutes later coming back out wearing number 36. That's not going to happen. And also in college where you can have multiple guys with the same jersey. So, or with the same number. Like, you can't have one offensive, one defensive player with the same number. So, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad rule. I think it's good. I think a lot of players will be happy with that. I think if I remember right, Dalvin Cook's already footed the bill for him to be able to change his number. Now, I do know that there might be some people who have bought Dalvin Cook's jersey for him wearing number 33 that are probably going to be a little upset that that's not his number anymore. But, this is part of the reason why I don't buy team jerseys. It's pretty big reason as to why I don't buy jerseys is because a guy can be traded in an instant. And it makes. I do think one of the greatest things ever though was there's that meme of the Browns. What is it? The Browns. The guy's got the jersey and then he's got the rest of the quarterback names on the back on a sheet of paper. It goes all the way down the jersey. That's a smart man. But I'm curious. I'm curious as to what you guys think. I've recorded this, so I will be posting it to YouTube. You can leave comments in there. I'm gonna post it. I think I'll post it to Facebook as well. I don't know. I don't think this is a bad start. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. I'll be doing them every week. Every Saturday morning. I'm planning on trying to do them typically at 10 in the morning. Just today, I just kind of decided to go ahead and do it. It was just like, it was kind of a last minute decision to go ahead and do this today. But like I said, with the draft starting on Thursday, I really wanted to go ahead and get this out there. I'll put it out. I said I'll put it to YouTube. I'll put it to Facebook, and I'll do another one next Saturday, and I'll talk about the surprises from Thursday night and Friday from the draft. So y'all have a good day. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time.